Bob Moog didn't entirely invent music synthesizers. He was, as he often claimed, simply picking ideas off a network of concepts, technologies and thought processes that were prevalent amongst a select group of electronics engineers like Moog, Harold Bode and Don Buchla in the early 1960s. What Moog did do, though, was crystallize these ideas into words and signal paths and modules. And this, essentially, was where it all began. The defining moment came when Walter Carlos released an album of Bach played entirely on one of the largest of Moog's collections of modules, the 3C. At this time, it's important to remember that synthesizers were not viewed as musical instruments. They were pieces of audio equipment, installed and in use solely in recording studios and university labs. Synthesizers like this were not ordered off the shelf. You could order any number of modules that would then be slotted into these sturdy and somewhat worthy walnut cabinets. Rock and roll, this was not. The 3C normally arrived in 3 cases, but even this was not compulsory unless you wished to purchase the sequencer, which lets you not only sequence pitches but also tone and contour as well. Hence how Walter Carlos had created such living, breathing renditions of his Bach fugues and preludes. If the basic design and number of modules in any given system was fluid, this was nothing compared to the process of actually producing the music, because nothing out of the box was connected to anything else. So this is where these things came into play. Patch chords. A patch, and the term remains in use to this day when describing a complete assembled sound, was created by connecting the inputs and outputs of different modules until a whole amplified sound had been synthesized. Although the knobs have loosely self-evident musical names and functionality, the process of patching a sound together on a modular synth does take a fair amount of time. The mainstays of Moog modular systems are the voltage-controlled oscillator, voltage-controlled amplifier, noise generators, voltage-controlled filters of varying bandwidths, and the envelope generators. But there was also a huge range of other modules to choose from, including ring modulators, sample and hold generator, filter banks, spring reverb modules, not to forget the myriad controllers that were available, from the keyboard to ribbon controller, portamento switches, even actually a drum controller. Although Keith Emerson delighted in tormenting his road crew long into the 1990s by taking a Moog modular out on the road, it really was in truth more of a prop than practical purveyor of sound. And although the Moog modular became the blueprint for musician-orientated synthesizers like the Mini Moog, few musicians have ever had the opportunity to explore what it would have been like to have this open-ended level of sonic opportunity in front of them. Until Arturia, using their own TAE true analog emulation technology, produced the Moog Modular V, which not only emulates the total flexibility of patch chord programming, but also the living harmonic richness of real analog circuitry. The Modular V arrives with a full complement of 9 VCOs, 3 filter slots, 2 LFOs, 6 envelope generators, VCA, mixers, even the classic Moog sequencer. Ancient design but modern software. So you also have MIDI control, some 400 presets, polyphony, and 2 new features found in version 2, unison mode and audio input. New modules have also been created, including the 1630 Bode frequency shifter, 928 sample and hold, and a brand new ring modulator. Bob Moog gave his unqualified blessing to the Moog Modular V, saying it added a new dimension to an instrument tradition that had special meaning to so many musicians. Most people will never have the opportunity to even see an actual 3C, much less play one or own one. But if we had to take anyone's word for a software version remaining true to the original, then Bob Moog's can scarcely be bettered.